Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome back. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Welcome back. You're now under the sounds of WPX3. I'm your humble host, Kano Ali Zoel. I'm very humble and grateful that our brother Hikmah, the ambassador to the Damaru Society, is coming through to build with me today. I'm gonna pull up his page on your screens right now so you can follow him. And also, while you're following him, follow all the other mediums. Support our brother Naga. He's allowing us to use these smooth sounds from W Funk Productions. So I'm gonna bring Hikmah on the line right now. Hikmah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
All right, all right. So everyone, this is Hikmah's page, Hikmah Ali L. Make sure y'all go and add him on there um, for all the wisdom and information that he has to share. We're going to be talking about sovereignty and also have a couple open dialogues and back and forth. You know, just being a guest, another guest from the society who has a little bit of insight out there. Well, I'm going to say a little bit, but a lot. But I'm going to let you go ahead and take the floor. Brother Hikmah, lay it on us. What we got going on?
Gratitude, gratitude, brother, gratitude. First off, all peace, love, and light to everybody. Sovereignty. That's the issue for the day, huh?
That's in fact.
All right. So, it was actually good that you talked to me earlier because you said one key thing that I think was really important about being in a state of sovereignty. We'll hit on state. I want to touch on the actual etymology about state,
Hmm.
and then I'll touch on sovereignty after that, like what an actual sovereign is. And then we can have a little back and forth if you don't mind.
All right.
So you spoke on the state, the actual, the actual state that is in relation to the United States corporation. Um, Many don't know that to assume the most absolute role that we can assume here as privatized individuals and entities are the sovereign, the title sovereign, um, because the states have issued over their own treaties, which were like these land grants basically to the United States Corporation Trust. That means that the states themselves are actually the land sections that we would be belonging to. Well, not necessarily belonging to, but I guess say in accordance with as far as connectivity. And so that would utilize each state actually being spoken of by us. So I'm in Wisconsin. So for me to properly speak on some sovereignty would be for me to say that I'm a Wisconsinite.
Hmm. All right.
And I'm about to hit on the suffix "ite." So ite. It says forming names denoting natives of a country. Word forming element indicating origin or derivation from French "ite" and directly from Latin "ita," from Greek "itis," from "itis." Word forming element making adjectives and nouns meaning connected with or belonging to,
Hmm.
especially used in classical times to form ethnic and local designations. For example, in a Septuagint translations of Hebrew names in I and for names of gems and minerals.
Very
This is a very key piece of information. So it says forming names denoting natives of a country because these individuals came from It's, Britain, France, Spain. They had to assume the role of some kind of live being because they weren't granted as such in the first place. So to carry on "ite" as a suffix after the states that were already territorialized and then handed over through trust to the United States corporation, this would put them in proper persona to assume the role of such sovereignty.
All right.
At the end of this, it was actually pretty interesting too that it actually touched on "and for names of gems and minerals, to be of the land, connected to the land, from the land." Those are gems and minerals. The original beings or beings, aboriginal beings, are the gems and the minerals of the land. So this is also what they're trying to assume in using the "ite" after whatever state it is that you're from for the identity of a sovereign.
So like Wisconsinite, be like a Minnesotite, or a Texanite.
Yes.
It's kind of like knights as well. I kind of hear the "ite" knights.
Yes, yes. It's all transference, as you know. I mean, it's all still passed down by the crown, still all underneath the crown. So it was very well placed and it's very well utilized. I mean, from what I've seen, like a lot of people actually use just that one terminology right there for like the issuing of land grants and all kinds of other stuff to try to claim their sovereignty.
Wow. See, now that is very telling. That collective build right there just puts a lot of things in perspective for me, brother. So I'm very appreciative of you shining that light on us. And for any of you who get to see this, because obviously we're not live right now. This is gonna be a pre-record, but I want y'all to light us up. Like us, support us. Follow us, comment. We're open for your review and critique. We are open for all that. So I wanted to build a little bit with you on not only this word element, but when we dive into the etymology of sovereign, sovereign goes into a completely couple different places. Now the viewers online can see exactly where I'm at. But we have sovereign as a noun, then we have sovereign as an adjective, and then we got sovereignty, and then there's a particular word that is called a suzerain or Caesarean. And I wanted to go over that because that's also tied into sovereign.
What was that last word, brother?
It's called suzerain, or it's Suzerain. And when we speak on that, it says sovereign ruler. So it's synonymous with sovereign, but the Caesarean is like the official title of a sovereign. You see what I'm saying?
Alrighty.
So it says here, from French, suzerain, noun used of adjective meaning sovereign, but not supreme. You see what I'm saying? So this is a title. You saw what?
Where it says "but not supreme."
Yep. But okay. So what a suzerain would be like a governor is like a suzerain. Not quite the president, but he has sovereignty. That's why these states are considered sovereigns. That's why they're able to enact particular governing rules throughout their territories, because they're the suzerains to the sovereign, which is the president. In this case, when we're talking about the de facto government. Now, if we go back up to the noun sovereign, it says here, late 13th century, supreme, ruler, master, sovereign, land ruler, aka landlord, adjective meaning highest supreme chief, And then it says see sovereign in adjective. And it also says meaning gold coin worth 22s 6D. It says first recorded late 15C, value changed 1817 to £1. So in order to be a sovereign, you had to have at least £1 of gold coins, according to the etymology of this. It says here the noun preeminence from French souveraineté, says here meaning authority, ruler, supremacy of power or rank, is recorded in the late sense of existence as independent state. So these independent states are granted suzerain rulership under different titles such as governor and so forth. So I came across some other details while I was looking into this on my page. So again, follow Brother Hikmah here. Y'all see his page right here. Follow that brother. Very very knowledgeable, very telling. So bring you here to a couple of the other videos I wanted to go over, but we're going to talk about the sovereign is a gold coin in the United Kingdom. So that's what it says when I did a basic Google search on the sovereign gold coin. But what I'm looking at here is a picture, and it says here, I won't even say it's a picture, but it's an engravement on the coins. And the coin of the sovereign is of the current reigning monarch, and it's of Queen Elizabeth particularly. But it says value, says here Queen Elizabeth, and then you can see a picture of Queen Elizabeth, and then on the back side, on the reverse side of it, it has a particular figure as well, Saint George on the dragon. So this is very telling. I was like, holy crap. And when I was doing some more researching on the sovereign prince, so apparently a lot of Brits were issuing out gold coins to their suzerains or sovereigns or even so-called nationals, amongst those who are in the upper echelon of their society, with these sovereign coins to act as independent. So it was kind of just like a social status, kind of like wearing a crown. You break out these coins, you're wearing it around your neck, or if you just have documentation of it, you're considered a sovereign in international recognition, in a sense.
That is so interesting.
Oh yeah. So I was like, all right, we're breaking down and peeling back the layers on this sovereignty. There was a couple builds that I wanted to go over, but we'll probably go over that in part 2. Because Taj Street Bay did pretty much exactly what we're doing, explaining what sovereign is and what sovereignty is. And then I seen this breakdown of sovereign. I put that on my page for y'all enjoyment, and I'll put a link and stuff in there. Now we're only on part 2. We could definitely do a little bit more building on this, but so far I just wanted to put that out into the air and put that out into the ether for everyone to know exactly what a sovereign is, what the requirements of being a sovereign is to be recognized internationally as a sovereign, and really what that was in representing as leaders or people who are moving themselves, or gods or deities for better words, who are moving themselves into positions of sovereignty on an international platform.
Um, I just noticed within that description on Itaman Online about sovereign, it spoke of, it said 1817, it was 1 pound, right? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was probably the transference of the currency at the time when it actually changed. Oh, I mean, look at the date, 1817. It's pretty recent, so it would have had to change over from gold to paper at the time, which is why they still deal in pounds today.
Mm. You know what's interesting too is when I looked at the sovereign coin, right? Because you hit it right on the head. That change, right? There was a change, and I think this is the main change was the gold coins. Because I'm like, where the hell are you gonna get a pound gold coin? You know, so when I was looking at that, I was like, let's really see if these are actual gold coins. But they put the value on it as a pound of gold. However, it's not a pound of gold. When you actually look at this, the thickness of it is 1.52 millimeters. It says here it compositions 0.917 gold, 0.083 copper, and it says here or other metals. So it's really a silver bullion. It says here value 1 pound sterling, mass 7.98805 G. Now, I was like, okay, so this is pretty.
How much gold is actually in this thing?
It's probably just gold plated. Probably just a cold gold plated joint. You know, they done sparkled some fancy writing on it, but that's pretty much what this British coin is. And you don't have to be a millionaire, you know, to establish yourself as a sovereign. So you know, all you have to do is do just the bare minimum, honestly, you know, to get that recognition to put out into the international community to be recognized as such. And I would say obviously have the backing of the people, of the so-called people who follow you, or the gods and goddesses who gather amongst us. But besides that, you know, it's really it's really there for the show. But you know, we're coming to an arena full of these dudes holding these coins. So we want to make sure we do our due diligence and our abilities to communicate and to execute within these international communities. You know, we have a lot of those who are you know, learning how to speak multiple different languages, how to interpret you know, exactly the will of the collective into a way that we could present it internationally.
Yo, that's pretty dope. That's pretty deep. We need to. I wanted to ask you about back on states. Do you have the etymology of state actually pulled up?
Yes. Give me a second here. I'll pull it up real fast because I did have it as soon as you mentioned it. Now, state, there's a lot of different forms of state. So we got state as a noun, particularly this is noun.1, and then you have noun.2, and then you have state as a verb. But here we go. So the verb came in 1590s, but the noun came in the 1200s. Now, the state means circumstances, position in society, temporary attributes of a person or thing or conditions. Doesn't necessarily say or, but it says dash conditions. So a state in that sense is circumstances. So we are in a particular state. So whenever they declare a state of emergency, that means you're in emergency circumstances. So if you're in the state of Minnesota or the state of or any of these other states, you are under that society, the society of Minnesota, or the IT, the minerals and material, or the thought process, or all that stuff combined is a reflection of the etymon of what I'm seeing in state. Did you want to add anything on that? On top of that?
No, that was actually excellent, brother. That was like spot on. That's exactly what it is. I would just say that with the condition that that's a mental state, like you said, any kind of any state of anything that you are directly connected to, the actual state of these states is actually tied into it too. So that's directly related to the state of emergency, whatever's going on. That was excellent.
Yeah, I appreciate. So yeah, I'm just going down the line as far as this. Everybody want to call you. Everybody want to do everything while you're doing it live, and we ain't answering none of that right now. They gonna have to call us back. But
I was looking at the second definition of state. What is it? The other noun, the one that's related to nation.
okay, let's see here. Nation.
I switched over to lexico.com. I'm actually using a direct lexicon.
Okay, sweet. Lay it on us.
It was saying nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one government. The only thing that I'm just going to point out about that is that within relation to common law, natural law, that technically any body of people that comes together is an organized political community because of the decisions and such that they would be making, and the government would be considered the people are the government at all points in times. So that just kind of reflects back on what I was stating as far as the use of "ite," like being a Wisconsinite, Minnesotanite, things of that nature.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming through and building. We just hit the 22-minute mark. Actually, we're 22 minutes and 22 seconds in. That's dope. We just pretty much completed our first part one to this build. I don't want to. I know y'all. What is it? Their attention span is short, so we ain't gonna overload you. We ain't gonna overload y'all. We know that y'all got things to do. We don't want to hit you in the head with too much information at once. I want to make sure that y'all follow my brother Hikmah Ali L, as y'all can see right there. That's his page. Add him. Do you have any other mediums that you want them to follow you on, brother?
Facebook, Hikmah Ali L. You can find me on Instagram on Hikmah Ali L also. That's about it, brother. Gratitude for having me on here. It was a great build. Looking forward to the next one. Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, sweet. I'm trying to figure out my way around how to do the little, the little Google Hangouts and stuff, so I could get us on here visually. But right now, the message is more important than the shine or the glory. So we'll go ahead and just keep hitting them in the head. So I appreciate you for coming through, brother.
Already, Michael. Peace, love, and light, man. Islam, shalom.
Peace, love, and light. White power, brother. All right. Great build. Now, next, part two that we're going to be doing in this sovereignty, I'm going to be responding to the breakdown of sovereignty and how it was explained from a more Gnostic perspective, especially with another professor, another student, professor, scholar, whatever else you want to call him, master, Taj Street Bay. That was one of the bigger videos that I got a lot of interaction from. Actually, a lot of you, the public, gave me dislikes. Y'all wasn't feeling what I was saying, even though y'all didn't leave no comment down. See, I don't like that. Like if y'all just gonna be hateful, it's like be hateful, but come with the receipts. Come with if you hating on us, you hating on the society. If you hating on me personally, put it in the comments. Let us know where we went wrong. I got thick skin. You could criticize me. I'm not gonna block you. We're not gonna have an argument and stuff like that. I don't know you. You don't know me. Yet. However, we're just leaving the door open with what it is that y'all claim to practice, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So we're coming to you with the spirit of the all, through all the prophets who've come before me. I give honors to Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Prophet Muhammad. I give honors to Yahweh Shah, and all the other deities, gods, and beings unseen. And yeah, with that being said, peace, love, and light. White power.